Good afternoon, everyone. This is Todd Rich with Nadex, and welcome to this webinar, Trading with the Nadex Platform. So we have had a lot of new folks coming into our markets, which I love, people looking for short-term price action and a little help understanding and navigating the platform and using the tools is very useful. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is what I like to call an off-roading session, which is we're going to be going through the Nadex trading platform and how you can leverage it and use all the tools that are available, whether you're trading binary options, call spreads, or knockouts. However, before I get into a full-blown demonstration of our trading tools, I first need to run through a little bit of a housekeeping item. So first, number one, this webinar, as are all of our webinars, are brought to you by our compliance department, the greatest sponsor ever. So I do need to disclose that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And please, this is an educational session. Don't take anything I say today as a buy or sell recommendation. All right, I'm doing this for your education purposes only. Okay, with that, before I get into it, I do actually a couple other housekeeping items. Number one, this session is being recorded. I am recording this session and it will be available on the Nadex website. I will show you where you can find it. It will also be available on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to say this right now up front, and I'll probably mention it again later. If you are not subscribed to the Nadex YouTube channel, I would recommend that you do so. You simply go to youtube.com, you can search for Nadex. When you find our homepage, you can hit subscribe, and you'll get notifications whenever we post fresh content, which, interestingly enough, is every day. In fact, we do a couple of webinars every week, every morning at 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central. For 15 or 20 minutes, we do a morning analysis session. I do it along with a partner of ours, Brian Caprice from Keep Trading Simple. And we actually look at hot spots in the markets. Where might you want to see what's going on today? And we try to point you into places where there might be some volatility, where you might be able to find some trading opportunity. So you can join us every morning. We record those as well. So if you miss it, you can always catch the recording of those. In fact, you can go catch and listen to the last few days and just hear what we were talking about if you want. But there is a lot of content on our YouTube channel as well as on our website. Now, before I get over to the platform, I like to do a quick little introduction of Nadex itself. Again, because we have so many new folks, and I think it's important for you to understand who Nadex is, particularly when people will often compare us to other binary option providers that they might find on the internet. And it's important to make the distinction on Nadex versus what you might find elsewhere. And it really is rather important because they're very big differences. I'm going to say important differences. Number one, Nadex. It's an acronym. It stands for North American Derivatives Exchange. That's how we get Nadex. And this is the important part. We are a CFTC regulated electronic exchange in the United States. We are properly regulated. We are a proper exchange. The Commodity Future Trading Commission, we report into that regulator just like the Intercontinental Exchange. They own the New York Stock Exchange. They report into the CFTC. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME, into the CFTC, as does the Chicago Board of Trade, which the CME bought. We are a properly regulated electronic marketplace, and we offer contracts designed for retail traders. Now, what does that mean? We have very low cost contracts, the notional value. You don't need thousands of dollars to access Nadex markets. You can do so with a few $100, and all of our contracts have very clearly defined risk reward. Unlike other exchanges where if something unexpected were to occur, you really have to manage your risk. Now, you have to manage your risk at Nadex as well, but because everything is defined risk, defined reward going into a trade, the most that you could potentially lose, so there wouldn't be any surprises in that regard. Margin call, just simply not a thing at Nadex. Doesn't exist. And so we have these small notional values of contracts that retail traders can trade and get access to in our markets with defined risk, defined reward, and there's no day trading restrictions. You can day trade these back and forth all you want. And what we've got are binary options, call spreads, and knockouts. And I think our biggest product. Give me one second. All right, apologize about that. I had to take one person was having some sound issues. Unfortunately, this is delivered over the internet, and the internet's not always perfect, so sometimes they need to refresh their browser. So I mentioned binary options, and the reason I mentioned binary options is there are actually only 2 regulated binary options in the United States, and the other one is very small. They offer weather contracts, and they really don't trade much. So Nadex is the premier binary option provider exchange in the United States. We are regulated. We have absolute rules, regulatory requirements for us to follow. We are completely on the up and up versus binary options exchanges you might find on the internet. If you go on a VPN and sneak outside the United States and go incognito, they're not regulated. And in that vein, I would say caveat emptor, namely buyer beware. If you were to ever have a problem and wanted some type of recourse, good luck. Versus Nadex, where we are audited, regulated, and we have a requirement and an obligation as a proper regulated exchange in the United States. So I like to cover that up front. I think it's important, and I like to share that. Now, I am going to say, if you've got any questions about our platform, our products, your account, please email us, customerservice@nadex.com. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're having a challenge or a concern, we can't help you if you don't reach out. So please email us, customerservice@nadex.com. Also follow us on social media. I mentioned it before. It's important, particularly our YouTube channel. And that morning content, I think a lot of people find very valuable and helpful and useful. Again, we're not making trade recommendations, but it's nice to know what happened yesterday, what happened overnight, and what might be coming up in the day, so that you can find the market that you're interested in, because Nadex offers access to equity indices, foreign exchange pairs, commodities, oil, gold, nat gas, silver, and then we offer it across the board, whether it's binary options, which most people are coming for, or whether it's knockouts or call spreads. And if you're not familiar with those products, again, on our website, I'll show you where you can look for an upcoming webinar to learn about those, or you can watch one of the recorded pieces of content in the archive. I know everyone likes to consume content on their own time, so instead of binge watching a show on Netflix, feel free to binge watch education on the Nadex website, if that's what you want. Okay, all right, that's enough of an introduction. I really want to get into the platform and go through what it is that you came here for, but I thought it was important that we share all of that. And I am now going to change and jump over to our website. Perfect. Okay. And if you've got any questions along the way, please feel free to type them in the question box. I'm trying to answer them as we go. and I will take a peek back at the end as well. Now, before I actually sign on to our platform, the first thing I want to point out is we also have a mobile product. I am going to repeat that. You can access our trading platform from your mobile device. Now, the easiest way to do that, if you go onto a browser, and I'm going to use an iPhone as an example. If you go onto a browser and you go onto Safari and you open up nadex.com, at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a little share tab. It's a box with an arrow that points up, and you can share this. But if you scroll down on your options, you'll see add to home screen, right? And so whichever browser you use, there is usually a way for you to add to your home screen the application. And when you add it, it's called PWA. It is progressive web app technology, where your experience then would be a mobile experience. It's going to be different than what you see today, what I'm going to be showing you, but you can trade from your mobile device. All right, you absolutely can. And the way you do that is use the PWA. You just simply add our web page to the home screen of your phone, and then you'd be able to click on it like any app. The really cool thing about that is that you never have to download anything from the app store, and you never have to update or refresh your app, because with progressive web app technology, once you've installed it on your home screen, whenever you click on it, you're actually being brought to our website, and you're getting the most recent version of our technology. So, you know what? I wonder why that is. And I don't know if I'm having sound issues. It honestly is being delivered over the internet, and sometimes I can't control that. Just know that we are recording this, and hopefully any sound issues ultimately work themselves out. All right, now from our website, I'm on the Nadex website. The first thing I'd like to point out is in the learning section, if you go to webinars, this is the webinar we're in right now, but our upcoming webinars are available on our website. Okay, and I usually put them out about a month. And there's one in there I'm going to point into in particular. But again, people asked, is this being recorded? If you go to the archive section, this is where you will find the recording. All right, we've got a lot of content up here in the archive. I am constantly curating it because if I scroll to the bottom, wow, we have 4 or 5 pages of content. It might be time for me to clear some of that out, some of the older dated stuff, but things are there. Now, as regards to upcoming, this is important. If you're interested, we are actually doing another virtual education event, a boot camp. It's coming up on March 16th, and you can start to register for that now. It is a full day of educational content. I think it's 6 hours. You can come, you can stay for the day, you can come and go and come back for a particular session. We will record all of this as well. It too will be available in the archive section of our website, as well as in its own playlist on the Nadex YouTube channel. All right, enough about that. I'm going to log in. All right, now when you log into the platform, we do have a dark theme now. I kind of like it. I think people prefer it. You can choose which theme you like in the settings section, and you can choose between light and dark. All right, I'm going to leave it in dark. I kind of like it. Now, when you first land here, you'll notice we've got 3 sections to our trading platform. In the panel on the left are our products: binary options, call spreads, and knockouts. Right? And at the bottom is your positions tab, where you can cycle through whether you're looking at current orders, and I will place some fictitious orders into the system, your existing positions, and then even a history of what you've done over the last 24 hours. And then in the center of the platform is really your workspace, where you'll see the charts and the order ticket when we click on something. right, so I think this part is actually pretty intuitive. Now, if you've got any questions and you're in the platform and you'd like some help, we do have our live chat function over here where you can reach out to somebody. And I'm also going to point out, if you'd like to provide any feedback on the platform, we love to hear feedback. We solicit it. People read that every single day. I know we've got a lot of requests to do some additional things on the platform, and so where we get a lot of that input is people typing in feedback from the platform. All right, now let's start looking at a few products. All right, let's go in reverse order. I'm going to start with knockouts. So when you click on knockouts, you will see all of the market classes that we've got available for knockouts: equity indices, foreign exchange, commodities. When you click on any one of these, you'll see the variety of products, actual markets, whether you want to trade the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, or the Dow Jones, listed under each one of these. Let's go ahead and click on commodities. I'm just going to pick gold. I like to use gold as an example. It's a nice shiny object. Everyone likes talking about gold. When I click on any one of our knockouts, all right, you'll notice that there are 4 knockouts beneath every single one of these. Whether I'm trading crude oil, gold, silver, you will always have a variety, or usually have a variety of 4 choices. Once I can see my choices, it actually doesn't matter which one I click on to bring up a chart. I am just going to pick one randomly, and it will populate a chart. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide this so that we can see the chart. I'm even going to minimize my positions pane so we can really get a good look at the chart. And this again is knockouts. Now on our charts, and this is going to be true for any of our products, you can customize your charts. All right, you can choose. Now this is a candlestick chart. If you would like to use a different type of chart, give me one second. Here's types. All right, if you notice those 3 little dots, I've got different types of charts. You can choose which kind of chart that you would like. Okay, and you can customize how it populates, whether you always want to use the bid, the ask. I usually just use the midpoint. Okay, and for scale, I use linear, but sometimes people want to see percentages. Right, but I am going to leave it as a midpoint, linear, midpoint, and the most popular is a candle. It's a candlestick chart. And so I'm going to stick with candles, and you can set the time period for your candles. Do I want to be looking at 30-minute candles? Do I want to be looking at 4 hours to get a longer term view? Maybe I want a shorter term view. Maybe I want to look at 5-minute candlesticks. Every one of these candles is now 5 minutes. Now, if you don't know how to read a chart or have questions about candlestick charts, we have some sessions on basic technical analysis that we can get into, but each one of these individual candles now is a 5-minute time period. I can then choose which the length that I'd like to see. I mean, how far out do I want to go? Do I just want for a daily chart and really get a good glimpse of what's been going on in the last 24 hours? And you can, and even when you choose one of these, by scrolling, I can actually zoom in or zoom out to get what I'm looking for. All right. You can also grab, if I click and grab on the prices on the right, I can expand or contract my chart so it can fit the page how I deem fit. Now on our knockouts, you'll notice I said it didn't matter which knockout you pick. There are 4 knockouts. They are the distinct blue lines on the left. And by clicking on any one of these, I can cycle between different knockout contracts. And what you're seeing is the floor and the ceiling being clearly designated and marked for the knockout range for that product. So for instance, if I thought gold were going to, look at gold is selling off right now as I'm watching it drop, maybe I want to potentially buy gold and buy a dip. I would look for a knockout, again, not a buy or sell recommendation. I might choose one where the floor is a little closer. And if I were going to buy, I could click buy up here or on the order ticket. And I would see, okay, here's the current price of gold. I can see the indicative price, 1709, ticking down lower. And I clearly see my knockout levels. If I were to buy this and it went down to 1702, I would get knocked out for my maximum potential loss, all right, which is already calculated on my ticket. And you know, my knockout boundary to the upside clearly indicated up here at 1752. So it's nice and easy on our charts, particularly with knockouts, for you to see the range for the knockout and know where my floor and ceiling are, where I would get knocked out. If I thought gold were going lower, I might want to choose a different knockout where the ceiling is closer. And if I were to sell it because I thought it was going to go, we're going to go lower. Again, when I click buy or sell, notice that on my order ticket, my maximum potential profit or loss will calculate for me automatically as I click back and forth. Okay. Now, again, I actually think gold's not a buy or sell recommendation. I personally think, hey, you know what? I see that it's got a lot of support here at this 1700 level. Maybe I would want to buy one. So let's I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do this for each one of our products. If I thought gold we're going to go higher and I wanted to take a chance, and maybe I wanted to buy, maybe if it traded down to 1706, I would want to buy one. I can actually put an order below the market to potentially buy one at 1706. Now, that's not saying it's going to get down there, but if it did, I might actually buy one. Someone would have to sell it to me. If I bought a knockout at 1706, I know that if it went down to 1704, I would lose $40 and get knocked out. But I think it's going to hold that level. And I can actually click place order. Now I'm trying to buy one below the market. You can do this on call spreads. You could do this on binary options as well. If I click place order, it tells me that my order was received. And I'm now going to open up my window, my position window below. And you will actually see that I am trying to buy one at 1706. Okay. Now let's just say I want to go ahead and buy one, and I click 1708 and I click place order. It tells me I placed an order, and hey, it's not in my order section. Of course it's not in my order section. I bought it at 1708.50, and you can see that it's in my position. I bought one. Here's the price that I bought it at. All right. Now, this is actually rather interesting, and I like to point this out. On our positions page, it looks like I've already lost $1. All right, now why does it look like I already lost $1? I just bought it right here. Now the reason it looks like I lost $1 is because I bought one. So I'm long one gold knockout, the 1702, 1752 knockout. And what it's doing is it's calculating, well, if I had to liquidate this position, I would have to sell it at the bid to get out. And so that is why it is giving my current price as 1708.40, because I would have to sell it to get out. And that is one tick below where I bought it. So it's, if I were to get out right now, I can get out for a $1 loss. If I accidentally bought one for 1708.50 and I decide I want to get out, I could sell one for a $1 loss. Now remember, I'm still trying to buy one below. I could end up with two of these things if it trades down. All right, I just wanted to point that out because that's going to be true for now. Look, now it looks like I'm losing $2. Why is that? Because it's now 1708.30. Bid at 1708.40. So it actually went down a tick. And so now I'd have to sell it at 1708.30 to get out. And it looks like I have a $2 loss. Now, if it ticks up a couple of ticks, it would look like I made a gain. I just wanted to show that some people are confused. I just traded it and it looks like I'm losing immediately. And that's because it's calculating based on if I got out of the position right now at the current market price. All right. that's knockouts. I think it's pretty intuitive. If anyone's got any questions, it's nice to know that I can place a bid below the market. Now, just like I placed a bid below, I want to buy one at 1706, and it's currently at 1708.40. And I know in my positions, I actually bought one at 1708.50. And let's just say I would sell it if it went up to 1718.50. All right, it went up $10. All right, I bought it at 1708. I want to sell one up above at 1718.50. I can do that. I can place an order up above. I can go 1718.50. All right, I'm selling it. The price that I would want to sell it, I mean, I bought it here, and why would I do that? Well, if gold were to pop, just because there's an expiration associated with this contract doesn't mean I have to wait 1 day and 1 hour to see what happens. One, I know that I can't lose any more than the whatever $50 that it said I could lose, or $60 that said I could lose. But if it were to go up, I could always choose to take a partial profit early. So if it goes up to 17, look at it, it keeps going lower. If it goes up to 1718.50, I can place an order up above. So, oh, look at that. I actually bought that 17. So now I've got two of them, right, in my position. It went straight down. So now I've actually got two of these that an average price of 1707.25. I know that I can't lose any more than my. I mean, I'm losing. Look at this. I might even get knocked out here in a second. The way this is trading down, it's possible. But I'm offering to sell one of those. If I go to my orders, I'm offering to sell one of those higher. And if somehow it were to bounce and go higher, and I got out of one of them, I'd still have the other one. I'd have to figure it out. All right, now, yeah, look at this. This is getting dangerously close. I might get knocked out here in a second as we watch it tick lower and lower. Oh, this is kind of fun. I want to see. I want to actually watch myself get knocked out, and you can actually see what happens. Oh, and look at that. Close. Hey, I still have a chance to make money. Okay, as it bounces back. This, by the way, is why you have to choose and why we offer 4 different knockout ranges. You can choose the risk reward level that suits you. If that was a little too close for comfort, you wanted to go long and you still thought it were going to bounce, but that 1702 floor were just too close, you just choose the next one down, which is $10 lower. There's a 1692 floor. Now, of course, there's more risk, because if I buy it, I mean, if it goes down to 1692, it would have to go down there for me to get knocked out. But you got to balance that risk reward ratio, and you've got to make a determination which knockout makes the most sense for you based on your analysis. Okay, so that's knockouts. All right, and I think that should be pretty intuitive. And we got through placing a bid below, placing an offer above, and we watch. I mean, look at now, it's bouncing back. If I wanted to sell that one that I bought, so I don't have two of them, I could probably get out of it right now for a tiny $5 profit. But I'm just going to leave it as it is, and we'll see what happens as time goes on. Now, as I mentioned on our charts, you can choose the interval that you would like to have. You can choose how you want to see this, but remember, I can scroll in or out, and I can expand or contract my chart by clicking and dragging on those. Let's take a look at indicators, all right? We've got a variety of technical indicators, technical analysis indicators for you if you wanted to drop these on your charts. So for instance, if you liked to watch moving averages, a lot of people like to see what's going on in moving averages. And if you're not certain what moving averages mean or what we have in platform education, that is the little I, where it gives you a little brief blurb on what that indicator does and why you might want to use it. It's not going to give you a full-blown analysis and discussion. It really is just a little description to help you remember or refresh your memory. But you can go through and take a look. I believe we have 25-ish different technical indicators that we can currently populate under charts, which tend to be the most popular ones. Now let's just go ahead and click on moving average. I'm going to click on it and notice how it puts some moving averages on my charts. There's some lines. Now I can go over here to moving average and I can customize what I want to see on these moving averages. Right now, the default is a 20 bar moving 20, 50, 100. And you can, let's put the 100 on. And you can customize the weight of the lines. How, if you want to have medium thickness, and I simply hit apply, and I've got all of my, I've got 3 different moving averages in here, and a lot of people are looking for when different moving average, when you see them cross over, right? I can also change the range. I don't have to make them 20, 50, and 100. If I want a 10 bar moving average, because that's what I like to look at, and maybe a 10, 25, and I'm just making this up, and let's just put in 50. Okay, I can apply that, and it now tells me I've got 10, 25, and 50. I've got a different set of moving averages. You can choose the ones that work for you, that you like to use in your analysis. All right, and again, you can use by simply clicking on any one of these. Here's Bollinger Bands. And you can always customize them. I will tell you, you can put a whole lot of things on here in terms of technical indicators. One of the general rules of technical analysis is try not to use too much stuff, because you can, if I want to, I can clutter this chart up, and I can put so much stuff up here that I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. It can be done, and you will see people that love to do this, and it becomes so convoluted you don't know what you're looking at. So usually traders will find an indicator or two that work the best for them, as opposed to populating their chart with a whole bunch of different things. All right, yeah, and let's keep moving on. I do know people want to continue. Mostly, I want to make sure that we're covering all the functionality in the platform as well. All right, so that's a good chunk on some of this. We're going to go back to the charts in a second, because I'm now going to jump over to call spreads. I'm only going to cover call spreads briefly. Let's go ahead and take a look at call spreads, and then binary options. I'm going to do foreign exchange. I'm going to do foreign exchange in the binary options, but because we did gold on knockouts, I'm going to do gold again on call spreads. Okay, and I'm just going to click on, and you know what I am going to do? The exact thing I just said. I am going to take all this off of the chart so we can see what we're dealing with. Click here and click here. Okay. So we can actually see the functionality on the platform. Now with call spreads, we also make it easy for you to, oh, looks like I got knocked out. Yep, I did. So I've got no more positions. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Call spreads, you'll see the shaded area for the call spread that you're currently looking at with the floor and the ceiling. And again, if you were to trade these, your risk reward is always calculated before you enter a ticket. And then you've got to make a determination which call spread makes the most sense for you. I mean, here's a call spread there's really nothing here in this call spread. It expires in an hour, and the floor of it is way above where it's currently trading. So no one really even wants to trade that. This one, it's right near the floor, right? If I wanted to take a shot, this might be a better choice. If I were to try, I want to go long gold here. Buying this call spread might have been a better choice with only an hour to go. Oh, this has only got an hour to go. This is a daily one. The knockout had a day and an hour. Because if it touches the floor, I'm not knocked out. I would still have opportunity for it to come back, right? So and then here, and then if I click on this call spread, you can see this one, the floor is all the way down here. But again, your risk reward of buying or selling these is clearly calculated on the order ticket. And the other nice thing, whether you're buying or whether you're selling, it lets you know whether you've clicked buy or sell on the call spread. So here's that call spread that I just bought. It was blue because I was looking to buy, and I think I actually bought one. Indeed, I bought one at 104.2. Okay. Let's zoom that down. But I bought one. Had I been selling one, it would have been clearly red. So it indicates exactly whether you're buying or selling right on the platform. Okay. Now, some people are asking also, are there videos on strategies for trading Nadex products? And for that, yes, there are. Look in the archive. But then I also highly recommend that you join us on March 16th, and there's going to be 2 full-blown sessions. In fact, we are doing day trading, how to be a day trader at Nadex, where we will do the very basics of binary options, and then we will do binary option strategies. Then we're going to do basics of call spreads and knockouts with call spread and knockout strategies. And then we've got some other surprises for you, but I would recommend that you join that boot camp, and those will be recorded and available on our website. All right, so this is how you can take a look at call spreads. Now what I want to do is I want to jump over to look at binary options. All right, now on binary options, we've got 5-minute binary options, 20-minute binary options, and then hourly, daily, and weekly binary options depending upon. And as I mentioned on our indices, there's the FTSE if you're trading what's going on in the UK, the Chinese index, the Hang Seng, the DAX, the Nikkei, and then US markets, all right, US equity indices. I'm going to, we've got commodities, all right. There's foreign exchange. When you click foreign exchange on the binary options, this is going to be our 2-hour binary options, our dailies, and our weeklies. All right, now for fun, just so I can watch it click around and go crazy, we got 5-minute binary options in foreign exchange. And this is a great lesson in binary options. I mean, you can see that this particular set settles in 50 seconds. So I actually might want to come back here in 45 seconds, which I'll do. But let's go ahead and click on foreign exchange. I'm going to look at the euro. And this expires in 1 hour and 20 minutes. When I click on one of these, you will see all of the prices of binary options that we've got. And let's pick something. Let's go out to the daily, the 3. All right, here's the pound dollar, 3 p.m. It doesn't really matter which one I choose. I just want to populate the chart. When I populate the chart and I hide it, all right, I've now got a chart of the pound dollar. All right, it's a 15-minute chart, and clearly something, Powell started speaking, and he's moving the markets right now. That's really, I mean, the timing on this was rather impeccable. We're seeing dollar strength. Whatever the Fed Chairman Powell just said, it had an immediate impact on the markets. As you watch the dollar just gain strength against the pound. Now, what you're seeing on the right-hand side are all the different binary options. Something that other binary option providers don't offer is you can choose your price level, right? This is the at the money right now. There's a 50-50 probability, and we're watching as the pound dollar ticks around, you're watching the probabilities of these move pretty quickly. All right, and I mean, we were going to see this on a 5-minute chart. We didn't even need a 5-minute chart. I'm watching this because Powell's talking right now and he's moving markets. Now, in order to see if I thought this were going to bounce back and maybe I wanted to take a shot and I wanted to buy one, when I click buy, it shades the area of the chart where I would need the pound dollar to settle for this to be a profitable trade. Remember, every one of these binary options is either going to go to 0 or 100, right? That's the nature of a binary option. If it becomes true and it settles above, it would go to 100. If it's false and it's below, it would go to 0. Now, if I thought this were going to keep going lower, maybe I'd want to sell this. Maybe I'd want to sell one at 48. I'm going to put 48 in here. And if I were to sell one at 48, all right, I could try. It's between the bid-ask spread. In fact, let's go ahead and place the order. I'm trying to sell one at 48. There's my order. Maybe it'll trade, maybe it won't. Now, if I sell it at 48, the most I can make would be $48 because it goes to 0 eventually. It doesn't look like I got it. Let's go lower. But if I were wrong, if I were to sell it at 48 and it were to finish higher than 139.60, it would go to 100 and I would lose $52. Okay, so we calculate your risk reward before you even enter a trade, and you can place an order between, you can place a bid below, you can place an offer above. Now, notice I placed this order between, and I was hoping to maybe get a trade, but yeah, it's still out there. I didn't get filled. I missed my opportunity. Now, if I'm not comfortable leaving this offer out there, I missed it. I tried, it didn't work. I can always click on it and hit delete order, and it cancels my order. You'll notice I also could have amended my order. Now, some people are asking, can I minimize my losses, or can I try to optimize my gains? Now, with Nadex products, you have defined risk getting into the trade. So you already know the most you can lose. Now, as I showed before, you can always choose to liquidate your position early if you wanted to, but you'd have to be looking at it. We are working on putting stop loss orders so that you don't have to necessarily experience maximum loss if you're away from your computer. So you have a position on and you step away and you want to put a stop loss in, you could. Now, in regards to capturing partial profits, you can definitely put an offer to sell above. You can always put a bid to buy below. So you can always do that. And the caveat would be to have a stop loss. If it were to start going down, could I sell? And we don't have that order type quite yet, but I know that it is coming. That being said, all of our products have defined and limited risk reward. So ultimately, if you're trading a binary option, a call spread, or a knockout, you can choose which level you want where you minimize your risk. So you can minimize your downside risk. So part of choosing and making a trade is not just choosing the market that you want to be in, whether it's indices, foreign exchange, commodities. It's also, how do I want to represent my position, my opinion? Do I think it's going up? Do I think it's going down? Am I better served using a knockout, a call spread, or a binary option? And binary options will generally, the maximum of binary option can be worth is $100. So you can certainly minimize your risk by choosing the right strike price. But then you got to choose your level, and you got to choose your time intervals. Some people really, and we've got a lot of folks who really like just trading the adrenaline. Here's a 5-minute binary that just started. Let's take a look at that pound US dollar right now. On a 5-minute binary, I'm going to make this a 1-minute chart. And I'm going to look at a day, and then I'm going to zoom in. All right, and I'm going to expand this. I mean, you could, wow, this has gone down so quickly. These 5-minute binaries will settle in 3-4 minutes, but you can see it blew through every one of these strikes, and it looks as though every single one of these is going to go to zero. I mean, I don't. I mean, it has as it comes back up. Look at this one. I mean, you're watching this probability come back. Some people want to see this. I mean, you saw these look like they were all going to go to zero, and all of a sudden there's look at this. Look at this rally right now. That is crazy. I mean, look at how that rallied back. Some people really like the volatility and the movement that goes along with these 5-minute binary options, and you'll see the probabilities change very dramatically as the price of the underlying moves, and realizing that this contract is going to settle in exactly 3 minutes. All right, so this is binary options on steroids, but it's good to know. You know, I know that we're getting some questions on being able to chart some of these prices. You know, if you would like, and I will tell you, ask. Put the questions like, you know, in terms of functionality that you're not currently seeing. If you would like to see some functionality added into the platform, the best way to voice that vote is put it in the feedback. It puts it in our product managers and our product developers' face that we've got customers specifically looking for something. So I would highly recommend that you use this feedback button and provide that feedback. And you can even probably you know, make sure you put in your email address and tell them you'd like someone to reach out to them. You know, and you can always email customerservice@nadex.com. You've been, oh, wow. Interesting. I'm going to look into getting that. I'm going to try to get an answer. I would like to know myself. I don't have the answer off the top right now. So I wish I could. Okay, so back to the platform and to the functionality. We've gone through knockouts, we've gone through call spreads, we've gone through binary options. I'm going to back us up off of the 5-minute binary options. I mean, again, these products are really exciting. The volatility in them is incredible. They reset every 5 minutes. I want to do a demonstration on something that's not going to be so whipsaw. So let's just choose these binary options that are out at, you know, later in the day. I could take this off a 15-minute chart, move it to a 30-minute chart. We can zoom in a little bit here. Okay, because there's more I'd like to show you in some of our in regard to some of our functionality. I talked about technical indicators. What I haven't talked about yet are drawing tools. And this is where people can put on and customize their charts however they deem fit. I find a lot of these tools are very handy. For instance, you can put your own trend line in. All right, I'm going to click a trend line, and you can see that we've been in a trend right here. So you can fit a trend line, and it'll help you put a trend line in, and you can put that however you would like to see it. But something that I personally find a little bit more handy than just a plain trend line would be something very similar, but you tend to see things work in a channel where I've got a downward trend here. I click again, and it's going to help me create the channel. Now I might have to custom fit my channel a little bit. I can grab these little dots and I can fit my channel in, and you might find that that is a little bit more helpful than, you know, a single trend line, is to put in a channel where if it's in a downtrend, where are we seeing support and resistance as it continues in this downtrend. And let's kind of click this, and let's actually adjust this a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look at there. I'm kind of got it all fit together. You can't, and these are just tools to help you in your decision-making process. Channels, trend lines. You know, there's plenty of different drawing tools that you can populate your chart with. The other thing that I find handy sometimes are these rectangles where let me just escape for a second. I am going to fix my chart a bit, and let's make this an hour, and let's make this a week. And then I'm going to zoom. Okay, so something else that people will often do is they'll look for levels where there's support and resistance, just price action. I can put a rectangle on here where I can see that in the past, this, and it's not quite this level, but it's thereabouts, where there were buyers that would come in when it's kind of stepped into this level. It's kind of punched through it here, and it's punching through it again right now. Obviously no chart is perfect, no technical analysis. Technical analysis doesn't have to be true. As the saying that I tend to use is, every ship at the bottom of the ocean had a chart room, and a lot of good it did them. But these are some tools, all tools to help you in doing your analysis and trying to figure out where you might want to potentially buy or sell. And the fact that we've got these drawing tools on here that you might use in your decision-making process, beyond the technical indicators, these drawing tools can often come in handy. You can customize your chart on what you see and what you what you don't want to see. Again, everything is customizable. The other thing I want to point out, as we mentioned before, all the different styles, you can save your layouts. All right, and once you've got something, if I want to save this, I just save as, and this is the Euro USD. I can click in here and put Euro USD, and I would be able to bring this chart back, assuming I had put some other indicators or drawing tools on here. I wouldn't have to recreate them. I could it remembers your chart, and so when I go to layouts apply, I could come and find which here's the Euro USD. I can put what is Todd Fib? Let's just see. I'm kind of curious. Here's an old chart that I had that I had saved. So always kind of fun. You can save them, and then it'll bring them back. Let's delete all drawings. And there is one other one I was going to show you, just because that said fib. I was kind of curious what was going to show up. People do like the Fibonacci retracement. It is a drawing tool, and it gives you those retracement levels based on the Fibonacci ratio. Now, we've got something crazy going on in the market right now because Powell is speaking. So, take this with a grain of salt, but it's a 1, 2, 3. If I'm in a downtrend, I click in the upper left-hand corner, I go down to my right-hand corner, and then the third click as I move over to the right, and it gives me the Fibonacci retracement levels that might be interesting levels for me to take a look at. Again, if you're not familiar with Fibonacci retracement, you can look at the eye, and you get a little bit of education on it. All right, we've covered a lot. We've covered, and just kind of as a quick little review, one, we've got our markets panel over here. First, our product panel, where I can choose binary options, call spreads, or knockouts. Inside each one, it's the different markets classes that are available, and then in each one of these, it's the individual products. And notice that in each product, it's got all of the variety of expirations. So, we give you plenty of choices at Nadex. It's not a one size fits all cookie cutter. Here's what you got. You get to choose. What market do I want to be in? What product am I looking at? What time frame do I want? And then even in that time frame, what level do I want? Like on binary options or call spreads or knockouts, how do I want to define my potential risk, my potential reward? And everything is, it's pretty easily laid out, and for you to understand what you're looking for on the chart, and it's color coded, and you can populate your charts with technical indicators and drawing tools. Remember, you can save your layouts. Now, you can, a few things I haven't covered. I can tear this chart off, and I can have, a lot of traders will have multiple screens. And I'm doing this from one screen, but notice the order ticket and the charts are, I can tear them off so that I can have multiple charts. And let's say I've got 3 monitors in front of me. I could have chart 1 and order ticket 1 on my left monitor. I could have chart number 2 and order ticket number 2 on my center monitor, and chart 3 with order ticket 3 on my right monitor. So I can be looking at multiple charts and have multiple order tickets open. However I want to look at it, whatever I'm looking at, whatever I want to see, you can do that. Okay, it's really great functionality. I am going to point out a couple other things. You've got up at the top, you can hide the value of your of what you're seeing, but you can put, I believe, 2. I think it's 2. No, 3. I could put 3 prices up here. All right, so you can decide, do I want to see what's available? How much is reserved based on positions or order, or orders that I've got in the market, what my total account value is, what my P&L is for today. I'm not doing so good today. I'm down $28. Hey, but whatever, my current position, I do have a position in something. I'm making money in that. Oh yeah, I bought that call spread. I bought a call spread in gold. Anyhow. You can choose what you want to see up here in terms of prices. It tells you what's what's going on with the platform, what time it is. In your account section, you can update your contact information, your address. So you can get your history as well as your account statement. Now, if you wanted to know what was going on, yep, so there's your account section up here. And then in your settings, this is something else, and this is an important setting when, and hold on, I just want to look. Okay. This is actually really important. And when you are trading, I am now going to show you, and some people miss this, we've got tolerance level. Now you can set, by the way, your default order type. I've got it set to limit. If you want to default market orders, you can change this to market orders so that whenever you place an order, it's going to be a market order. You can set your default contract size. Maybe you always trade 2 lots, not 1 lots. All right, you can change that. Now when I place an order, did it save that? Hold on. Yep, so now when I click on buy or sell, notice how it's defaulting in as 2. Okay, so you can set your default order size. Now in seconds, the one thing I want to talk about is tolerance, because this is something that people don't quite understand. They don't always realize it's here. A tolerance level is used when you're placing market orders. When you're placing market orders, sometimes these markets can move so quickly that you're willing to, if you're trying to sell or buy, if it moves outside of a range, I don't want to trade it. So I've got my tolerance level set to their lowest, which is $1. Meaning, if I went and I put a market order to buy this, and I saw it was trading set, and let's make it a market order. Let's make this a market order. And I wanted to buy, and not, again, not a trade recommendation, I'm just picking something. If I went to buy this for $7.75 and my tolerance is $1, and I hit place order to do a market order, but it was immediately trading 9, that is $1.25 away. I am telling it I don't want to buy it if it's more than $1 away from what I'm seeing. So when I go market order buy, and now it's trading, $7.50. Now, would I, if it were trading 8.75 right now, I would get filled on a market order. If I tried to buy one and I had a $1 tolerance on my market order, it would pay up to 8.75. After that, it will not execute because it moved too far away from the price. So people have to, and everyone's got to decide what tolerance levels that they're willing to tolerate for a market order if it were to move. So look, I mean, I was just saying 7.75. If I tried to buy it, look at this. It's now 9.75. If I put a one lot buy at 7.75 and it went to 9.75, just like it did, I would not have bought it. All right. Now, if I sent it, it would pay up to 10.75 if the market moved that quickly. So that's what your tolerance levels are. It's essentially how much slippage are you prepared to have or potentially have, and you can make those determinations. Now, that simply does not matter if you're using limit orders. If I'm using a limit order, the price that I'm sending my order is the price that I'm sending my order, and maybe I'll trade it and maybe I won't, but that's my price, and that's what I want to do, and these tolerance levels then simply don't apply. All right, with that, I really do want to thank everyone for joining me today. This session was recorded. It will be available on our website. I hope you got some help and benefit out of seeing all the functionality that our platform has and how you can leverage the tools, particularly our charting tools, technical analysis and drawing tools across all of our products. And again, I'd recommend that you take a look at some of our other recorded content in the archive section of our webinar. And please check us out on those YouTube, those streaming YouTubes every morning. Go to the Nadex YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central for 15 minutes every morning, and we record those. We live stream it, and we take a look at what's going on in the markets pre-open and what the hot spots might be. The other thing I'm going to mention, don't forget the boot camp. You can register for that now on our website in the webinar section, upcoming webinars, and you'll see all the upcoming webinars. Please feel free to register for any of them, but we're doing March 16th, a whole day of day trading at boot camp. With that, welcome to Nadex. We'd love to have you as customers. Please email customer service if you've got any questions, and I want to wish everyone good luck in the markets.